The humanism is the challenge of the new era of social design. This is why we are in New York. This is why we choose Milton Glaser.
Drawing is a form of meditation, so for me there's nothing more extraordinary than the transformation of an idea that only exists in your mind into a physical reality that replicates the world.
Making of a very complicated story, one unique story of languages, of countries, of cultures, like the United States and now in the United States of Europe.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me.
Milton Glaser's imagery has been popular for the last 60 years. When you think of Milton Glaser, you think of his cultural influence, his social influence, his commercial influence, and you also think about his artistic influence.
I think that Milton Glaser's work takes full advantage of his exposure to the art world.
I went to live in Italy for a while, studied with a great man named Giorgio Morandi, came back to the United States, started a studio called Pushman Studios, which became notable and significant in this mysterious field called graphic art.
I Love New York by Milton Glaser could be the grandmother and the apple could be the child.
I Love New York was not a slogan for an advertising agency campaign. It was a real cry that everyone in the city was experiencing. When you draw, you have to observe at that time what is real. Otherwise, you don't see it. Well, you already had imagery. I mean, you had a rhino, and that is susceptible to many treatments. But usually the treatments are a little mark, this big.
È un gesto, un segno che subito mi rimanda alle categorie della calligrafia, il gesto ripetuto e in questo di nuovo stiamo ragionando su queste categorie di creazione dove il gesto fintamente casuale ma in realtà ponderato viene lasciato aperto per simboleggiare qualcosa che potrà sempre cambiare forma.
I consider logos not the most essential product of design, but because there's so much money involved in doing it, it attracts an enormous population of people.
Face the future, asking to the wisest. This is our approach. Certainly, art understands much better than economics, than politics, the future. And art is very important for us to understand how to communicate with basic of languages. This is why we have been asking to Sky Arte to join us with a huge project very connected to the arts.
The first thing you always do in any design problem is address the issue of the audience and what the audience understands and how they will be moved. So that is essentially a logical process. But everyone who works logically finally is limited by logic, and the best works, particularly in the works of painters and real artists, comes out of the intuitive feeling of trying to achieve something where the goal is not obvious. That really is the artistic way, which is to say you discover the road once you begin walking on it. That's fine. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right.